Hello everyone, my name's Toby and I'm from Coolzy.com. I'm here to try and answer one of the most frequently asked questions that we get on our FAQs, our forum, our customer service, via email. That question is, will a Coolzy-Pro work in a caravan? Now, of course, plugging a Coolzy-Pro into a caravan and turning it on, yes, the Coolzy will power on. But will it cool the entire caravan? And of course, we know the answer to that is no. And let me explain why, because that's not the end of the story. A Coolzy uses 340 watts of power to produce 1100 watts of cooling. It's really great for applications like this because it's not going to ruin your batteries, particularly when you're off-grid. Now, these caravans often come with an air conditioner on the top. Those air cons are about 2,500 watts. Now, that's perfect for when you're at a caravan park and you're actually plugged into power. But when you're off-grid, 2,500 watts is going to run your batteries down so quickly you won't have any use for the batteries for anything else. So that's where a Coolzy really comes into its own. The Coolzy will run for around about 4 hours on a 120 amp hour 12 volt lithium battery. There's a link below if you'd like to have a look at the tests that we've done before. We've got a great video showing the Coolzy from woe to go on a battery, on an inverter that would normally be in a caravan like this. This is a FLIR camera. So this is what the military use when they've lost someone and they're trying to find them in the bush or in a forest. They'll use this for nighttime surveillance for police, and air conditioning companies use this for testing. I'll point it around the caravan now and you'll see that everything is an orangey yellow color or white because it's quite warm. It's not a cool day. Right, I'll point it at me. Point it at my hand. I don't know if it'll show my hand. My hand might be too hot. There we go. Pointing it at my hand. Right. Hello world. And now let's point it at the bed. So pointing it at the bed, you can see those are the pillows. You can see the temperature at the pillow is about 22 degrees Celsius. You can see the sides of the sleeping quarters are nice and hot. That's because they're in full sun. So they're very hot. But where the occupants would be, they're enjoying this lovely cool breeze. And if we follow that blue line of the cool breeze, we follow it right up to the tip of the Coolzy, which is black, right? You can see the Coolzy is black because the Coolzy is nice and cool at the front there. Now, what is the Coolzy doing? The Coolzy is removing the energy, all right? And it's pumping the energy out using its tail. And you can see the tail, well, let me take a step back so you can get a bit more frame. The tail is bright white. So you can see the back of the Coolzy is very hot. The front of the Coolzy is very cold, all right? And one last pan over the sleeping area, and the sleeping area is nice and blue. All right. So I'm hoping that at least demonstrates, at least visually, what's happening. Now, the next thing I'll do is I'll use an actual thermometer to demonstrate the cool. This is an extremely sensitive thermometer. And to show you that it's functioning, I'll pinch the tip and you'll see the temperature will increase with my body heat. So as you can see, it reacts almost instantaneously. And then I'll let go of the tip and you'll see that the temperature will come down. Now the ambient temperature in this room, let's see, it's about 30, 33 degrees. Just got to get out of the cool breeze. There we go, 34, so it's sort of rising, 35 degrees. So it's cozy, it's snug, right? I don't know if you guys can see that, 30, 35 degrees. Now, what is the temperature at the spot where someone might be sleeping? Forgive me, I'm 6'1" and these aren't made for people my size. So here's the thermometer. I'm lying in the cool breeze. I can feel it. It feels great. I'd easily be able to sleep in this temperature. Don't take my word for it though. Have a look at the thermometer temperature. So you'll see that the cool breeze is working. It's dropping the temperature inside the sleeping part of the caravan. Not sure what it's dropping it to. Here we go. So 23.6. So we expect that to be a around a 10 to 12 degrees Celsius drop from the internal temperature, and we saw the internal temperatures around 35-ish. So there we go. It's gone down to 22.7 degrees. So that shows you that where one would be sleeping is genuinely cooler than the rest of the space. So I'm hoping that that demonstrates it for you. Now, last up, we have a sound meter here. And you can see, as I'm talking, there's atmospheric sound. It's bouncing off here with the acoustics inside the van. There's someone doing drilling outside. So it's around the 61 decibels. But when I keep quiet, it'll only pick up the Coolzy. I'll put it over here where the sleeping quarters are. Brush that off so you can see it. And I'll stop talking to see the noise. Okay, so our claim is at low fan speed with the compressor on, it's around about 45 decibels. That was measuring about 48 decibels. There is some atmospheric noise in the area, so there's cars driving past and there was a guy doing some drilling outside, and also the acoustics of the space. But 48 decibels in the sleeping quarters of where you'll be sleeping in the evening. By comparison, that's the sound of a desk fan. Now, the last thing I want to show you, which for campers and caravanners and anyone working off grid, is the power draw. So the Coolzy is plugged into this caravan right now, but we've also got a power meter plugged into it. And it might jump around a little bit because that's what electricity does. But you'll see on average, it's drawing upper limit's about 340 watts, lower limit's about 290 watts. Sort of depends where the machine is in its cycle of using its compressor and its fan. But our claims of the machine drawing 340 watts at 33 degrees Celsius and 80% humidity, proof's in the pudding. You can see it's fairly accurate. So I'm hoping that that's at least demonstrated using some pretty fancy machinery how a Coolzy works. I'm also hoping that the visual representation that I showed you with the FLIR camera on the color differences inside the caravan versus the actual sleeping temperature at the bed gives you a sense of how that might work as well. We've seen the noise and the actual thermometer temperature and how the temperature in your sleeping space drops. I guess ordinarily, if you didn't have a Coolzy, you would have to survive with just these little built-in fans. I'm not sure how that. So that's just a little built-in fan, which on a hot, stuffy night, particularly if it's humid, that's not going to do a lot. Interestingly, the reason they put those fans in these caravans is when you're plugged into mains power and you're using the big internal inbuilt air conditioner. They need those to circulate the cool air through the space, whereas of course, a Coolzy with its built-in fan pushes the cool air into the space, fills it with cool air, and of course there's a spillage of all the cool air as it leaves. So yeah, I'm hoping that that's answered a lot of your questions. The last thing to remember about a Coolzy is how compact it is. It is one of the most compact units on the market. As you can see, there's plenty of space here where I could maneuver this machine around and move it and store it and stow it when it's not in use. So again, that's another plus. And of course, if I stop somewhere and I want to sit outside and it's hot and stuffy, I could always have it operating outside the van as well, or take it inside if I have to. Let's assume I want to work from home. So to recap, it uses less power, it's quieter, and it's more compact, making it the ideal solution for a caravan. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully, if you have any more questions, pop them in the comments below, and we'll be sure to answer them. All the best. Thank you from Coolzy.